Hello everyone, I am Elisa Vardomska, glad to welcome you to my channel. Today I want to talk to you about emotional dependence on loved ones and how to get rid of it. Often in our lives, the emotional state of our loved ones, relatives has an influence, household members, children, anyone, some close friends, and we inevitably take on this emotional state. We often start living through the feelings of another person, feelings of a loved one. If everything seems fine for me, but a loved one is facing some tragedy, we often expend our energy to save that person, living through their emotions while putting our own lives on hold, meaning we push it to the background. And it happens that a person does not live their own life. They are dependent on the emotions of their loved ones. So today we will talk about how to get rid of this, to shift our focus onto ourselves, not on the people around us, but specifically into our own world. And first, do not tie your mood to the actions of others. Someone did something wrong, something happened at work, something happened to someone. Try not to link your mood to the actions of others. Instead, ask yourself the question, if something is upsetting you right now, what is upsetting me right now? Turn your focus inward. Why do you feel bad right now? Why did you experience that emotion? Where does it come from in you? When you start to conduct your own analysis, analyzing the external situation, why are you reacting this way to a certain situation? Why does it affect you? Why were you hurt by certain words? Why can't you not react to this situation? When you start to understand yourself, you begin to ask yourself questions. Then certain moments come to the surface and you start to sort things out within yourself. This is the first step towards living your own life, not experiencing the emotions of others around you, not living other people's lives, but living your own and working on yourself. Moreover, when you work through these moments within yourself, your emotions, your reactions, you get to know yourself, you bring it to the surface, and you start to live your own life more qualitatively and better. Focus on yourself, not on others. Remember this, when you focus on yourself, on your emotions, feelings, experiences, you start to live a completely different life. Next, accept the fact that everyone has the right to their opinion and their choice. We often try to interfere in someone else's life, thinking that we might be wiser, smarter, and can resolve the situation better than a close, dear person, an acquaintance, or a friend. And we think that we can handle this situation better, faster, and we don't want to let a close person make any mistakes, wanting to do everything for them. That is as if to take someone's life, their lessons, some of their trials in life. After all, when a person goes through their own trials, they become stronger, more confident, and they start to believe in themselves that they can. And when we take all of this away, we simultaneously take away a person's belief in themselves. Therefore, one should not take responsibility for someone else's well-being. Even if you think that a close person's decision is wrong, give them the opportunity to make mistakes. It is precisely these lessons he must go through to become better at being himself. If you are asked for help, help. If not, remain an observer. Observe the situation, draw some conclusions for yourself. You may have preferences and an understanding of how you would act in this situation, but keep that understanding to yourself. In other words, you also take some lessons from the situation for yourself. A person who lives their life experiences their situations themselves. Again, they self-improve, and this is an integral part of maturation and growth. Therefore, when you do not interfere in someone else's life, you give that person the opportunity to grow, and likewise for you. When someone knows better and constantly tries to help, it is necessary to establish personal boundaries, that is, to show where one can participate in your life and where one cannot. When you establish personal boundaries and decide for yourself what is acceptable and what is not in your life, then, of course, some people may find it unclear what these personal boundaries are. For example, a mother will not tell her grown child, say a 30-year-old or a 25-year-old, how to live their life. But when you set personal boundaries, showing that you are an adult, self-sufficient person and want to make decisions in your life on your own, to go through your own lessons, it indicates that you do not always need someone else's help. Then people, especially close ones, begin to accept this. But most importantly, it is indeed when a person tries to do good and meaningful deeds. That is, you are trying to do good for your loved ones, or someone is trying to do good for you. Again, often this desire crosses all boundaries, and you can ruin all kinds of relationships with a close person, because this strong interference in someone else's life only leads to building walls. That is, you want to distance yourself from a person who is trying to do good. Again, if you are asked for help, help. If you are not asked, there is no need to try to do good. And lastly, allow people to think poorly of you. Allow people to think of you as they want. You don't need to try to be good for everyone, to save everyone, to help everyone, just so that people say you are some kind of good, wonderful person. Shift the focus to your own life. You need to develop, you need to achieve something, you need to spend your energy on growth in your own life. And only you can decide whether to spend your resources on yourself or on solving someone else's problem. After all, a person who faces a problem also has resources to solve their own problem. And when you spend your resources on solving someone else's problem, neither that person solves their problems, nor do you solve your own life problems. In other words, you close your eyes to what is happening in your life, interfere in someone else's life, and as a result, neither person goes through what they need to experience in life. Moving on. Don't be afraid that you will be judged for not rushing to save someone at the first call again, because if you have always helped everyone and saved them, and suddenly you prioritize self, people may not understand this right away. But determine that you must always indeed be your own priority. You should only help when you have the opportunity and the necessary resources, meaning when you are explicitly asked for help, and then you carefully decide if you truly have the resources and the genuine desire to help, or if your own life force is critically needed to solve your own pressing problems. So emotional dependence is indeed actually very easy to resolve. You just need to shift your focus of attention from the external picture to within yourself. When you start to understand yourself, what is good for you and what is bad, what you like and what you don't like, what you accept in people's relationships towards you and what you do not accept, why you react in certain ways to specific situations, why you feel pain now and why you feel shame at this moment, and why you experience such an emotion at that moment, when you move into your inner world and start, let's say, a colossal work there. If you previously lived with a focus on the external and shift inward, then this is a colossal change. And often these internal colossal changes qualitatively improve a person's life. That's all for this video. I was Alisa Vadoms. I hope for your likes and subscriptions. Write in the comments what you would like to discuss in my new videos. Don't forget to hit the bell, and goodbye everyone.